Hello. Well, hopefully Facebook doesn't crash on us again. That's why yesterday I couldn't figure out why I couldn't. I was trying to get the live stream up so I could see questions. And hey, yesterday was a great, it was a great live stream that no one got to watch, or at least most of the Facebook watchers didn't get to watch live. All about parenting, and we went from Proverbs 3, 11, and 12 and jumped over to Hebrews 12 where those verses are quoted. So if you want to hear what the Bible has to say about parenting and discipline, well, you might want to go check out yesterday's video. But lastly, I don't know why I decided to make a joke, is yesterday I had coffee with a friend and we were talking about reading, and he was saying, he likes reading off his Kindle, and I'm like, I'm a really big fan of paper, and we were talking about the pros and cons of both. And of course, one great pro to paper books is it looks way more impressive as a background to your live stream than just my Kindle sitting on a shelf. So we were joking about that. The book flex, it's all pastors have got to do that. It's a pastor thing. All right, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13. I think maybe we'll pick up a little speed. We've only been doing a couple verses a day here, it seems like. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding. For her proceeds are better than the profits of silver, and her grain than fine gold. She's more precious than rubies, and all things you may desire cannot compare with her. Length of days is in her right hand, and her left hand is riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is like a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her. So, in short, guys, it's just saying that wisdom, knowledge, truth, these are things that are good things to seek. And before them may come humility, right? The idea that we have things we can learn, that we have things we need to know, and that we're willing to search out the truth and understand it, and be willing to be corrected, be willing to be challenged, be willing to challenge what we believe. As far as truth, I was excited that, yesterday my book on Easter went live on Kindle, and today it went live on paperback. And so, I'm just excited to see that get out. And, the whole reason is I've never had any aspirations to be an author, but I have a big passion for the truth, for wisdom, for knowledge. And it's exciting, to dig and find the truth and really try and go and turn over all the stones and see what comes up and learn about it and share it. And so that's the idea. A man who gains understanding, this is like silver, it is like gold, it is like rubies. And so he's just saying that seeking these things is a good thing. Being open to the truth. And I will say, being open to the truth isn't being quick to receive every bit of information that's thrown at you. There's a place where there's being gullible as well. We don't want to just receive everything that comes our way. It's okay to be a skeptic. It's okay to be discerning, right? But the idea is that, but we're also open to digging deeper and finding out a little more about things. And so sometimes it's just something where you need to be willing to dig, be willing to go, but that there's great benefits in learning the truth. The Lord, verse 19, by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths were broken up, and clouds dropped down the dew. And so with this, right, we learn about how God used wisdom and knowledge and his perfect knowledge to create this earth. Creation. All of creation was fearfully and wonderfully made, not just us. And that's the idea, is as you look, we talk about intelligent design. We see it. As you examine the natural world, you see God's fingerprints on everything. And so it's another point, again, that God has wisdom, and he uses wisdom and knowledge to do things in his perfect way. We should be seeking his revealed wisdom and knowledge so that we can be made more like him in that sense. We're being drawn to his perfection. We're being conformed into the image of Christ. My son, verse 21, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so that they will be life to your soul and grace to your neck. Then you'll walk safely in your way. Your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. Yes, when you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden terror, nor of trouble from the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. And so again, now it talks about the protection and the security we get through godly wisdom, godly knowledge. The idea is that he'll give us a perfect peace. That's a promise we have. You'll keep him in perfect peace. The peace that surpasses understanding. And we get that through godly wisdom and godly knowledge. And that really is the knowledge of the Word of God. That many people, and maybe I'll pause and close, and I don't know, we'll see if we'll finish the chapter or not. But many churches and many pastors, the message given on Sunday mornings revolves around maybe a word of encouragement, inspiration, excitement. It's something that in the moment can create elation, a great sense of joy, excitement, hype. But learning God's revealed word, his wisdom, his knowledge, as Jesus said in John 17, your word is truth, truth itself. When we have those things, well, then we have something that sticks with us. No matter how a sermon makes me feel, my feelings are always going to be changing all the time, very much based off circumstances. But truth is a foundation. It is a bedrock that we can build upon. And since truth doesn't change, I can then receive a peace, because more and more my feelings will be based off of an unchanging truth rather than just how I feel that day, what's going on right now. And even when the things, because there's always going to be things happening and changing in our lives and happening to us and around us, but when I have a large foundation, a firm foundation, all based on the Word of God and God's truth, even when all these things up here are changing, we've got a foundation to fall upon. That's why it says when you lie down, you won't be afraid. You're going to sleep sweet. And do not be afraid of sudden terror, nor the trouble from the wicked when wicked comes, because the Lord will be your confidence. He'll keep your foot from being caught. So that's kind of the idea. When the external things change, when trouble on the outside happens, it's okay, because we have an internal peace and a foundational truth that doesn't change. And we believe in a God who does not change. God's unchangeability is something that we can find great peace in our souls. When we lie down, not being afraid, because no matter what changes in us, he doesn't change. What he's revealed about his feelings and heart and desire toward us, it doesn't change. Let's just keep going. We'll get this chapter done here. It says, do not withhold good from those to whom it's due, when it is in the power of your hand to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back, and tomorrow I'll give it, when you have it with you. Do not devise evil against your neighbor, for he dwells by you for safety's sake. Do not strive with a man without cause, if he has done you no harm. Do not envy the oppressor, and choose none of his ways, for the perverse person is an abomination of the Lord, but his secret counsel is with the upright. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the just. Surely he scorns the scornful and gives grace to the humble. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the legacy of fools. And so, in short, we have this perfect peace that comes from God. We've really talked about just happy is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding, just that it's a good thing and a great thing and a pleasant thing and a joyful thing to gain God's wisdom and God's truth. And then it is a peace-giving thing, a surety and a foundation for us when we believe and trust in God's truth. And now our lives should be giving witness to that as we demonstrate God's truth in our hearts by the way we live and the way we act. That we're going to be loving towards other people, giving to those in need, and doing all these things that you would expect from someone who has God's truth living and working in their hearts. This is why James, I even have James 2:15-17 noted here, and I'm pretty sure that's the be warm and filled verses, right? Timothy, Peter, James, there we go. If a brother and sister is naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you says to them, depart in peace, be warm and filled, but you do not give them the things which are needed for the body, what does it profit? Thus also, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. And that's what I'm going to finish on. You see, faith without works is dead. It's describing the quality of the faith. It's not that it's faith plus works. You see, faith equals salvation plus works. Therefore, faith without the works, now the salvation's in question. Now, I'm not saying that you lose your salvation because you don't work enough, and I'm not saying that there aren't some carnal Christians out there. But as a general understanding, when we believe in God's truths, and we receive God's peace and forgiveness because of our faith in His Word and in His truth and in His Son, it produces works. By their fruit you shall know them. When you see no works, it brings the faith into question. Do you really believe God's truth? Do people really live like this if they truly believe in their hearts that eternity awaits them, that they're storing up heavenly rewards, that there'll be eternal consequences? And so that's where the end of this proverb goes, is saying, no, like if you believe these things, then don't withhold good from people. Take care. Don't devise evil against your neighbor, right? And then it talks about the end there, that God's going to judge in the end, right? That we're all going to face the judgment one day. It's appointed for man to die once, and after this, the judgment. We all must face the judgment seat, the bema seat of Christ, and receive for what we've done in the body, whether good or bad. And so that's the end. The idea is that our works will show where our heart is. Our job is to get our heart right, not to focus on doing all these works. And so, can this taken in Proverbs 3:26, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Matthew 24, Olivet Discourse. Okay, I'm flipping there, Susan. I'm flipping there. People asking questions. I love it. I like questions. It means you're paying attention. And then, oh. Interesting. So you're looking at the 2 men in the field, one taken, one left behind. I guess I already knew those verses if I just thought about it. But Proverbs 3:26, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Interesting. So there might be a tie in there you could find. I'm not seeing the tie as much. In short, you've got Matthew 24, where I know, in KJV, and I got the New King James. I know, Susan. I know you've got your old King James. Matthew 24, you're looking at, well, and this is again, it's funny how just the other day this came up as being like a controversial thing. I believe in Matthew 24, we're looking at the rapture of the church. So being taken is a good thing. And then back here in Proverbs, it's talking about your feet being caught in a snare as a bad thing. Like he's not going to let you be caught. He's not going to let you be taken. He's not going to let you taken advantage of. And so I think different context. We can talk Matthew 24 another day, and I can walk through my thought process on that. But in short, the first chunk we talked about, it's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing and a happy thing to dig up the truths of God. I think that's something you find in healthy believers. Healthy believers are excited to dig up God's truth and learn more about God. I still am and continue to be just excited to learn new truths about God, studying new books of the Bible that I've never gone as deep on before, and getting extra commentaries and hearing from wise men of God who've been gifted over the years, and just digging to see what all we can find. And then it talks about how that begins to create a peace and a foundation and a rock that is not moved, and it should result in works. As we receive the peace of God, we begin to disperse the grace of God to others. So, there we go. We wrapped up all of Proverbs chapter 3 this morning. On to Proverbs 4 tomorrow. Not sure how fast and slow we're going to move through the Proverbs. Some days we're taking 2 verses. Other days we're taking 20. Hear my children, the instruction of a father. Yes. Good stuff. Let your heart retain my words. Keep my commands and live. And one of my favorites, Proverbs 14:18. That'll be a few days away. So, God bless you guys. Have a great day. And, I will